Hi, I'm Edwin Palmer. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this series on LGBTQ plus related topics. A couple of weeks back, a viewer notified me about this. Dad told his girlfriend to rape his autistic son because he thought he was gay. The article was published on March 30th, 2018. When you continue reading, you read this. An Alabama man and his girlfriend were convicted of raping an 11-year-old boy with autism on Tuesday. Sean Cole and Khadijah Moore were both convicted of rape, sodomy, and sexual abuse of a child younger than 12, according to Alabama.com. The victim was Cole's son, and prosecutors said Cole instructed Moore, now 21, to rape his son after he suspected that the child was gay. The sexual assault happened around Thanksgiving 2016 after Cole claimed he found his son in a compromising position with another boy. Moore complied with Cole's request, and she's been found guilty of performing sex acts on the child and of forcing the boy to perform sex acts on Moore, according to Al.com. It was solely that Cole was worried that his son was gay or might become gay, Dowd said. There was no evidence he had a sexual attraction to his son or children. He just thought he could, for lack of better words, straighten him out, Prosecutor Tim Dowd told the jury. Since both perpetrators are people of color, it made me wonder, is there more homophobia in the Afro-American community than in other American communities? Before I delve into this, I want to make sure we're on the same page though. So let's ask these two questions first. 1. What is homophobia? 2. What is the Afro-American community? This is the answer to question 1. Homophobia is a strong dislike and fear of homosexual people. And this is the answer to question 2. Afro-Americans are an ethnic group of Americans with total or partial ancestry from any of the black racial groups of Africa. The term typically refers to descendants of enslaved people of color who are from the United States. Afro-Americans constitute the third largest racial and ethnic group in the United States. Most African Americans are descendants of enslaved peoples within the boundaries of the present United States. On average, African Americans are of West African, Central African, and European descent, and some also have Native American ancestry. So, is there more homophobia in the Afro-American community than in other communities? I've looked into this, and according to my sources, which I'm gonna give you at the end of this video, the answer is no. There's equally much homophobia in the Latin American community, Asian American community, and European American community. But homophobia is considered to be quite prevalent within the African American community. Numerous reasons are given for this. Here, I give you 3. 1. The image young black men and young black women are supposed to convey in the public sphere. This has to do with gender identity and the belief that people fall into distinct and complementary genders, male and female, with natural roles in life. So stereotypical men of color and stereotypical women of color. Lord knows not all, but Many people in the Afro-American community feel young black men and women of color should fit into these stereotypical gender roles. Things get problematic for those whose behavior diverges from this traditional heterosexual norm. Men of color dressing and behaving like women, women of color dressing and behaving like men, etc. Not accepting that gender roles change, that men can be feminine and women can be masculine, is the big problem here. Another reason homophobia is considered to be quite prevalent within the African American community is because of the fact that homosexuality is often seen as antithetical to being black in the African American community. A third reason is the association of the African American community with the church in the United States. Barack Obama has acknowledged homophobia within the African American community and made a statement to the community saying that if we are honest with ourselves, we'll acknowledge that our own community has not always been true to Martin Luther King's vision of a beloved community. We have scorned our gay brothers and sisters instead of embracing them. Here I give you 3 important facts about homophobia in the Afro-American community. Number 1. HIV/AIDS. The disproportionately high incidence of HIV/AIDS among African Americans has been attributed to homophobic attitudes. Many African Americans associate the disease almost exclusively with gay white men and not their own community. Many in the African American community still view HIV/AIDS as a gay disease, and homophobia is one of the main barriers preventing better treatment for people in AIDS in the black community. Number 2. Celebrities. In recent years, many African American celebrities have come out of the closet to fight homophobia in the Afro-American community and become role models for LGBTQ+ African American youth, such as Jason Collins, Michael Sam, and Rodney Roberts. Number 3. On the down low. The perceived bias against homosexuality in the African American community has led to the subcultural phenomenon known as on the down low, in which black men who publicly and even self-consciously identify as heterosexual will secretly have sex with men. Now I want to give you 3 ways we can battle this homophobia in the African American community and in any community, really. 1. Diverge from heteronormativity. Accept new gender identities. Not everyone is heterosexual, and we need to accept that a feminine gay man of color and a masculine lesbian of color hold the same worth and matter just as much as heterosexuals of color. 2. Focus on love, God's most treasured and universal gift. As Bishop Michael Curry put it at Meghan and Harry's wedding, love has the power to heal the world. Many Afro-Americans are religious, and instead of focusing on those few passages considered to condemn same-gender love, focus on love, God's most treasured and universal gift. An honest reading of the Bible reveals there is more written about justice, hospitality, grace, and love than anything else. God is love. We're all His children, and He loves all his children, no matter who his children love. 3. Focus on your similarities and not your differences. If you're a heterosexual man or woman of color and look with abhorrence upon homosexuals of color, take a moment to think about what you have in common with that homosexual man or woman of color. Do you have the same hobbies, personality traits, or interests? Chances are you, the heterosexual, have more in common with that homosexual person than you think. Then, learn to look at the world from their perspective. What do you, as a heterosexual person of color, think life's like for someone who's black and homosexual? Then, if you see or hear hateful slurs or hateful actions against that homosexual person of color, stand up for him or her with a message of support. We probably won't ask you to do it, but would deeply appreciate it if you did. These 3 tips are my own, but the rest of the information came from these websites, and I've left these links below this video, so you can copy and paste them into Google to read more about this topic. If you found this video useful and want to get more interesting and useful information from me, you can do that by subscribing to my channel. And that's really easy because my head will pop up somewhere on the screen, and you just need to click on my head, and when you click on it, you become a subscriber. And if you want to watch the entire series, my entire LGBTQ plus series here on YouTube, you can do that by going back to the first video, and that link should pop up somewhere on the screen too, either now or later in the video. I'll be back next Friday with my book review of I Initiate by John Darrell Winston. Till then, I just want to say 3 things. Have a great day. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.